Hello, full stack web developer, and welcome to Coding for All, the channel required to become a full stack web developer, practical applications, and utilizing free resources. In the last video, we were introduced to reducing file size and selecting elements with JQuery. But in this video, we will learn how to manipulate style, text, and attributes with JQuery. So before we start our video formally, like the video and subscribe to the channel so we learn and grow together. Now, as you can see, we can manipulate the CSS style of a selected element by simply using .css method from jQuery. Although previously we had a green color, but just to make it more visible, I changed it to red. So, for example, what if I want to change the color? It was really simple. That we wrote dollar, that's the symbol of jQuery, h1.css, color red. So when there are two things, one is what is to be done and the second is how do you want it to appear. So this is the input that you want to appear on the other end. Now if I want to just get the property out of it, so what can I do with that? I can simply write only one, and along with it I need to write console.log. Console.log. Now there it goes. Refresh. So see, I have removed the red color, I have put the black color there, and it is showing me what the color is after I have written all under the console.log. Now if I want to see the font size, what I can do instead of color, I can write font size, Control S, refresh this, 32 pixels. And we are getting that by using the .css method. So remember this method, that if you have a single property in it, then you are getting the value of it, and if you have two properties in it, then you are setting the value. Now, as we said before, changing something that is related to style inside a JavaScript code is not that great. It feels a little bit dirty. That's because we need to separate our concerns and keep our JavaScript code only for the behavior. So the style is for the CSS is for the style, this is for the behavior, and this is for the skeleton. But currently, this is what we have written here. So how can we do that? Well, instead of adding our CSS by using the CSS method, .css method, we had a if we can write class inside the styles.css. For example, if I can write dot big no headings, so here we go. Then I can make font size as 20 I can make color as green. Yep. And I can even change the font family cursor just to test. So just let me see if it's going to be something like that, but I don't think it will change right now. The reason is, let me show you. If I just refresh this, no change at all. The reason is that we haven't added this bid headings anywhere in our JavaScript and how we want it to behave. So we will go back to our JavaScript. We can remove all this for now. We can write $h1. Now we want to add a class. So add class And what is the name of our class? Big headings. I don't know why I wrote this, but okay, it works. Headings and control S back. Perfect. Okay. Alright, so now that we have got this class inside the style, we can use JQuery to add that class to our element as we have done here. So we are selecting our EH1, and by writing dot add class and then inside the parenthesis we will add the name of the class like we did right now, which, let's just remind ourselves, was called big headings, as you can see right in front of you. And when we hit save and refresh, you can see that it is done. And this is a much better way of separating our behavior from our styles. Now, just as you can add class, you can also remove class. So now that we have added this class with a green color, so why don't we now use remove class? And for that, we can use our console. For example, here, tools, developer tools. So over here, I can show you like I'm sorry, h1 dot remove class. Then there is headings. And now if I press enter, there we go. So you see, now if we wanted to add or remove multiple classes, let's say we add another one called margin 50. How can we do that? So what we can do, we can go here to the styles. Now this is already there, okay? We can make another one dot margin, you can say 60, 50, whatever you feel like. I will margin. And what is the size of the margin? Same as the name, 60 pixels. Now in JavaScript file, like we added big headings class, we can add another class. And how is that possible? Just with one space. Margin, what was the name? 60, I believe. 60, yes. Margin 60. Control S. There we go. Now we have the margin to notches. If we want to see that what if you have given a class or not, or if something contains the class or not, like if you don't know if I've added the class margin 60, if it's there or not, then that is also very easy. You don't trust me? Okay, you don't trust me. I can show you how you can trust me. So for that we can use dollar and then h1 brackets close dot has class. So you see how easy this is. Margin dash 60. So we get a boolean. If it's true, then that means there is a class. And if it's false, then that means there is no such class added in it. So this was what we have seen in jQuery we can use to manipulate style. Now, if we want to manipulate text using jQuery, we can do that too. Now, in order to manipulate text with jQuery, actually there are two methods. First of all, let me just remove all this. Oh, good. So now actually there are two different methods and that we are going to use, and you will be able to see the difference between each of those methods. For example, if I go here and I want to change the text, so I can simply write dot text by Control S. I'll go back. So right now you can see the H1 text is hello, but in our atom we have written dot text and within brackets we have written bias. So let me just refresh this. See, so this is one of the methods how you can simply change the text, what you can see right in front of you. Now if I want to change the buttons text, what I can do, so this is the button section. I'll follow the same method, that is dot text, and then I can say, for example, subscribe the channel. Yeah, the channel. Control S, let me take it back. So right now you can see it is written click me. If I refresh it, oh, subscribe. So subscribe to the channel, as you can see right in front of you on buttons. But I hope you remember that we were using something like inner HTML, but you see JQuery always shortens the method. It always shortens our operations. And so for that, now I'll show you how we can use inner HTML type of thing using JQuery. And for that, I'll take you back here. And instead of writing text, I will write HTML. So no inner HTML, only HTML works. And inside, sorry, if I want to emphasize something, how can I do that? Simple. So emphasize, for example, instead of written hello, I want it hi. Control S. Right now you can see it's by. You see what I did, I have changed the text of the button, but the by remains same. If I want the button to be same, but if I want here something different, for example, I want to emphasize over here, then I can write coding for all, or simply like the video, and there we are. Control S. Let me refresh this. So now you can see the difference. The difference is when I wrote this here, after .html, I wrote subscribe to the channel. So now can you see that when we use dot text, then whatever you write within this parenthesis and within this inverted commas, you will get that as you have written over there. But if you use .html, it will change the text that is there. So it impacts the inner HTML, and that impacts the look, the outlook of the text. So that is easier thing to type and more intuitive syntax. If you use .html, that is way better. That I would recommend you. So if I just do that over here to .html, Control S, let refresh this. See, so now it is creating emphasis and it is impacting the inner HTML. So now we are done with the manipulation of text, with the manipulation of styles, and now we are moving forward to the last manipulation for this video, that is for the attributes using JQuery. So now we are going to see that how we can manipulate attributes. Attributes are things such as, for example, if you had an image, then it would have a source, right? So for example, if I take you back to the atom and see if we can add drum.png or something like google.com with an anchor tag, and how we can manipulate that. So why don't go back to our atom and try something new. So let me take you here. Why don't I type image, and then inside source I can write something like drum.png. So the source of the image is drum.png. Inside my, you can say, index.js, I'm going to write symbol dollar, then I'm talking for the image. And you see, now we are trying to manipulate attributes, and the best thing for the jQuery is always shortens our process. So we will write attr for attribute, and then for source we will write src. And just to see as how we looked at the property of font size and all that, we will use console.log. Oh, what has happened? Console.log. There it is. I'm going to paste that code here. Control S. I'll go back. Here we go. Development tools. Let me refresh this now. Drum.png. So it is showing error. The reason is there is no such file as drum.png, but what we can use, so you see, if we want to get something out of it, we just simply wrote it there, and we got to know that okay, there's not something like that. But what if I want to use an anchor text? How can I do that? There's also a simple thing. Let me take you back to our atom, and inside index, after this I can write, why don't I write anchor text, and instead of this I can write https and then www.google.com, and over here I can write search, control S. I refresh this. Okay, so the search is there, and it should take us to the Google. Perfect. Now what if, I hope you remember in one of our previous videos we did this, that you can see something else and you will go somewhere else. For example, if I go back and I write here Google, but how we want it to behave, we want this dollar for the jQuery, and for href or anchor text, so we will write attribute, and inside that we will write href. And now we want to give some property. We don't want to see the property, we want to give a property. So for that, oh, what is happening? So what I can do, I can write, for example, So what I can simply do, I can paste the link for another place, Control S, I'll go back, I'll refresh. Okay, so it should take us to Google. Let me press this. Oh, I don't think this is Google. Let's load itself. Oh my god! It has taken us to Coding for All, the our channel. That's our channel, man. So what are you waiting for? Just like the video and subscribe to the channel and learn from it. But that's a good thing. So it was written Google, and Google took us to our beloved channel, Coding for All. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. This was all for today, and I hope that you will learn, you will practice, you will implement this, and trust me, if you don't practice, there won't be any use of it at all. So like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Practice, practice, practice. We will catch up next week. Until then, good luck and bye, full stack web developer.